it is so dark. So dark and flooded. I don't know if that was a breeze or like a raspy breath from somewhere within here. And the fact that we're in waist-deep water is going to make all of this so much worse. Hello, everyone, and welcome back once again to Gary's Mod. And today, the map we're going to be exploring is simply titled Alive in a Coffin, which doesn't tell me very much about it, but a number of you suggested it. Now, this map comes in two versions, one which is flooded like this, and this is the horror map, and a Sandbox version that is not flooded, and I wasn't sure which to go with first. I decided if this is going to have some scripted stuff, then I'll do this first, and maybe take a look at the other one afterwards. Yeah, I definitely think there's voices in there. Okay, maybe I'm taking too long. But look, this all looks like maybe like a hospital waiting area or something. But there's all these mounds of dirt piled up so high. Why? It's... You know, I can't help but draw the connection from being buried alive to these mounds of dirt. Alive in a coffin. I don't like the sound of that following me everywhere I go. This whole place is just absolutely filled. But it doesn't make any sense. Anything to be done over here? Actually, with the total absence of light, we wouldn't be able to see anything were it not for the fog. It's kind of like this whole place has been buried. Everything feels like it's picking up. I don't like it one bit. Actually, the specific name for this map is Alive in a Coffin Panic, which it's certainly living up to its name so far. I don't like these angled hallways like this. There are some longer ones I could go down, but I don't want to touch those yet. Every once in a while, I think I hear a wet footstep that isn't my own. Nothing back here. So, like, normally I'd try and take this methodically, but I really feel like there's something right at my heels at all times, even if we haven't seen anything thus far. I really don't like these sounds. You know, the wheelchair out in the middle of the hallway in the dark is a classic image at this point. I've never seen one that's halfway flooded with water. Definitely expanding on the formula. Props for expanding on the tried and true. I've yet to actually find anything. So many doors. Such little progress. Is this the bathroom? What? What's happening? My view is all red. What's happening? I can hear voices in the middle of this. Is this gonna go away at some point? I suppose it did. Oh, I just felt my eyes adjust to the cooling colors. It's like we walked right into somebody's bad memory. But I didn't see anything, though. I don't know if something appeared there just in the moment that started. It was honestly like having a freak out. Here, let me try and give you a hand. Okay, should I perhaps leave it where I found it? Oh, it's completely dark. Alright, we'll just leave you in the sink in case you're important for later, okay? Alright, down the long hallway we go. Little as I want to. The fact that it's submerged in like two ways, both in water and dirt, it really is like the building equivalent of, I suppose, being in a coffin that's begun to leak. Nothing to see. Meanwhile, having to shoot back and forth between all these doors, it's like we're desperately trying to find the way out, but not making any more progress. And the water just adds to this like constant feeling of discomfort. The fact that there's so many noises but nothing to attach them to. It's like we're being chased unspecifically. No reason to run and yet feeling the urge to run. Really, it's starting to look less like a hospital and more like an amalgamation of images you'd associate with a hospital. I mean, why was there a fridge in the X-ray room? Nothing. I'm starting to wonder if that heartbeat actually means something. Like, is there something invisible, maybe, that's, like, pursuing us? Something that we're supposed to find in all this? Nothing here. All these hallways just like run parallel to each other. It's like these rooms are just an afterthought. It's just meant to keep me moving, just meant to keep me pushing my legs through this thick water. Howdy. What happens if I approach? I don't like the fact that your eyes are open and you're actually physics. My God. That was actually disturbing. There's a door back here. Huh. It's just the reflection from my light. At first I thought I was staring out a window, the only daylight we'd yet encountered. And of course, it's nothing but a literal projection. So, where to then? Well, if we round this corner... Nothing. I can't tell where I haven't been. It just all looks the same. It's only the open doors that can help us. Even that's not a sure thing. Look at all this mold all over the walls. This feels like properly filthy. I think I've seen everything now, but man, just imagine you're in the hospital, maybe for something routine, and then you wake up in here, not knowing how you got here or where everyone went, and just tormented like this for eternity, doomed to always wander these halls. Those thoughts are what horror is all about, but Seems like there's still a couple of rooms left. I mean, I'm only glancing at each of these rooms because there's so many. I hope I'm not just, like, missing triggers. I'm not liking some of these sounds. Nothing but a big mound in the middle here. Okay, I think this is the last door then. Somehow these curtains make things so much worse. In fact, there is a behind the curtains. A surgery. And yet, all we have to deal with is more raspy breathing in our ear. Wait, what is this? Legs. These are legs on the ground. Hang on. Are we meant to be reassembling a corpse or something? Oh my god. Okay, here's this again. So do I bring everything to here? I mean, what do I do? But this is pretty neat. I mean, it's almost like a hybrid horror and exploration map. It's got these scares built in, but it feels like it's more of a vibes map, you know? Oh, there's a hallway here I haven't done yet. Nothing seems to be snapping into place when I try and put the limbs in the surgery. Maybe there's somewhere else I have to bring them, but I haven't been able to figure that out. Oh no. God, this is really tense, and like the fact that there's no clear objective kind of makes it so much worse. Right. I'd forgotten about this. Nothing here. Maybe this is where we're supposed to bring stuff? Well, I had a look at the workshop page, and I couldn't find any sort of objective. Although it does describe itself as a horror map with no way out, question mark? So let's do our no-clip run and see what we can see. Wow, that's more sprawling than I even thought. Seeing all these crisscrossing chambers and hallways, it kind of reminds me of GMOD. But I think the next best thing is going to be to try out the standard Sandbox version and see what's different. Now here on the Sandbox version, we find the floodwaters have receded, the lights have come on, and there's an electric hum overhead. Very interesting. This is quite different. There's a clock on the wall right there, and yet the huge mounds of dirt remain. I imagine the layout is going to be identical, but there's none of the horror sounds, none of the fog. Well, nobody said it would be entirely absent its own creepiness. This is quite eerie on its own. You know, I have to say, this is quite baffling from the perspective of, you know, trying to fit this in a box. Because it's not really a horror map, it's not really an exploration map, but it is a cool thing. And I don't think there's anything wrong with just being a cool thing. I described it earlier as a vibes map, and, well, that's what it is. It's just heavily atmospheric, it's really creepy in its sounds and ambiance, it's just nightmare logic discomfort. And even with the scares toned down for this, well, it certainly got something going for it here as well. Although I think I do prefer the flooded version. Although they're cool in different ways. Is something happening after all? This map literally bills itself as the less scary version. You can't do this to me. Excuse me. From here, we can just barely see the leg poking out from beneath the curtain. Oh, there's a hand here as well. 2 segments of leg and a hand. Somebody's just been distributed throughout this entire place. I still maintain the idea that we are the ghost of someone who died in this hospital and is cursed to wander for eternity. It may be short, but it definitely feels inspired, and in my opinion, it succeeds at what it sets out to do. I would love to see this creator do, like, an actual story map with scripted events, or, honestly, even just more like this. But that was Alive in a Coffin, and it was certainly an interesting experience. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this map out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.